Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, when home sellers put their home on the market, many are expecting activity right off the bat. Should home sellers hold out for the best offers or even multiple offers when they're selling the house?
Well, Richard, people don't sell homes very often. Some people haven't done it at all. And I think sometimes, as I get further on in my years in the industry, there's a lot that goes on kind of behind the scenes that even I take for granted. Like for Mother's Day, we went to a Rockies game and I was sitting there and I was watching the pitching and Mark leaned over and said he should have thrown to third base. He was kind of criticizing the players' behavior. So I think there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that if you're not in the game all the time, you don't necessarily notice it or you don't think about it. So um, most home sellers really don't know what to expect when it comes to the home selling process. Like, should I get a bunch of offers? Should I get my asking price? Should I get over my asking price? How many showings are appropriate? How do I know that there is demand for my home? So, we're going to kind of cover all those things. In general, if you're starting out of the gate and you're starting to get people calling, people asking to get in, especially if you're holding back showings a little bit, people throwing offers at you right away, that's a pretty good sign that there's demand for that home. And if you do happen to have multiple offers, it's a great position for a seller to be in because they're pretty much in the driver's seat. They can dictate what terms that they want, and potentially drive the price up to a really good number. But there are some clues that you definitely will see if that's happening. First of all, I can tell immediately when it goes on the market, people trying to get in and see it. We'll see it with our showing service, basically the request to get in, um, people asking questions about the house, people saying, calling agents will call and say, do you have any other offers on the home? That kind of thing. And in general, if you're a home seller and you get an offer right away, but that buyer has a house to sell, it definitely puts the buyer kind of at a disadvantage in the negotiations because they're competing against potential buyers that don't have a house to sell, and it puts some uncertainty in the game. But I was thinking about this the other day because I had one home seller that was getting right out of the gate tons of showings. They had a few issues to overcome. One was just the floor plan layout was a little bit different than what we normally see. But we're getting tons of showings. So a good question is, well, how many showings are normal and how many are not normal? Well, our showing service actually has data on that. So I did some research on it. It was kind of fun, and it was pretty much the same across the board. I picked price range of 200,000 all the way up to 900,000. I didn't go beyond that because I didn't want to bore you with a bunch of numbers. But the big surprise to me was that the number of showings, the average number of showings per week in all of those price ranges was basically between 6 and 8 showings. That's normal if the home is priced right. So if you're getting more than that, okay, then there's a high demand for your home. If you're getting less than 6 to 8 showings a week, something's wrong, either pricing or marketing or condition. It could be any one of those things. And so basically, it could be both as well. So I had one home recently that had some condition issues. It had a little bit of cosmetics, and a nice home, good floor plan, good bones, great neighborhood, but they were smokers. And so we kind of knew that was coming. So the sellers made a decision to price the home well below similar sales in a great location. And that one at the open house, we had over 70 people show up in just 1 hour. It's a really good turnout. And at first we didn't get any other offers, so I was really worried about it. But sure enough, within a day or two, we got 4 different offers, and seller was able to command the price that they were asking. So in general, if you're not getting the showing activity that you expect, the question is, how soon should you make a change? Every time you put a home on the market, you're going to get the most amount of buyers' eyes on it on the big tech company websites like Zillow, Homes.com, Realtor.com in the first 10 to 30 days. So if it's been 10, but not more than 30 days, and you're not getting the activity and or offers, more than likely it's either price or it's marketing. Now, some people wait for their number, and that's okay. I had one last year that was a little bit cosmetically challenged, not bad. Big home for the money. We thought we priced it very realistically, but we were getting showing after showing after showing after showing. And finally, it took a few months before we actually got a full price offer and everything worked out fine. But and the problem was in that area, that home seller was competing with brand new homes. And that's one of the things that you have to consider when you price a home is, what does your competition look like? If it's a builder, I just had a buyer call me yesterday and she goes, well, this home, she asked about a home that was owned by the VA. Are they offering incentives like the builders are going to give me 25,000? I said, no, it's already priced well. Um, but she didn't know that. She's just looking at that one home. But to know that they can get a brand new home in that price range in that area without any issues is something that a home seller absolutely should take into consideration. So if you do find that you're not getting a lot of demand, it's a good idea to make a change on pricing and or marketing as soon as possible. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team and the host of the show, Your Real Estate Voice. And what we're talking about is, should a home seller wait for their offer or wait for multiple offers? Like, I get that question a lot when a seller just has one offer and they say, well, should we wait for another offer? And some of the other agents will give us a clue that an offer is coming. Some will not. Some just send it on email and it drops in my inbox. So I have to watch email like a hawk. But usually there are clues. There's some kind of feedback given that says, we love it, we're working on an offer. Typically, the agent will reach out and say, hey, I've got a buyer very interested. Do you have any other offers? Because that helps the buyer make a decision about how to position the offer so the buyer gets the house. So that's what we're talking about now is, should a Colorado home seller wait around for multiple offers or the best offers? Really depends on the offer that you got. If the offer indicates that buyer has a house to sell and maybe that house isn't very sellable or there's some uncertainty, you may not want to tie up the home waiting for that to happen. So you have to make sure that your agent makes a good decision and helps you make a good decision through the whole entire process. So when we come back, we're going to talk about some things that you should plan on to create demand for your home. My name is Barb Schlinker, and if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900. We have hundreds of buyers that we can match for pretty much any home. Plus, we show up with multiple offers, and you want to, when you go on the market, definitely be the best home on the market. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's the host of the program, and you can reach her at 719-301-3900. We're talking with Barb about whether a home seller should hold out when they get an offer and wait for new or multiple offers. So, Barb, how does a home seller get multiple offers?
Well, it's a lot of things all at once. It doesn't necessarily mean that the home has to be in perfect condition. That's not always the case. It really depends on how that home compares to the other homes on the market around it. And that involves a lot of things. It involves pricing, it involves condition, it involves marketing, meaning the quality of the photos, because most buyers won't even come look at a home if they don't like the home on your first showing, which is online. If you do not make an impression within a nanosecond online, really it's less than a minute, buyers aren't even going to pursue that house and come see it. So technology has really changed our world a lot, and all of those have to align in order to get multiple offers. And the benefit for that really for a seller is it gives you choices. It gives you the option to go, well, maybe I should take this one. Maybe this home, maybe this buyer is better for me. And then you can make the right decision about how to get the price that you want and need, the timing that you want and need. Like I had one last year where they had been trying to sell it with another agent. The marketing was really bad. The pricing was too high. They did everything wrong. They priced it high, slowly walked the price down. And then finally, after almost 4 months, they hired me. We went right back on the market with good marketing. We had a huge turnout at the initial open house. Right away, we got an offer, but it wasn't the right offer. And I suggested to the seller, you know what? That one's contingent on a home selling. I looked at that home on the market. It appears to me that you're going to wait a long time for that home to sell before that buyer can perform. We already know based on the turnout at the open house that there's a lot of demand for this home. So I said, just wait because I think you're going to get a buyer pretty quickly. And sure enough, 9 days later, we got a full price offer and we're able to close it in a couple of weeks. So and we will show up with our cash offers anyway with almost all of our sellers. But typically buyers know if it's an attractive home or not. I really feel like they know more than real estate agents know because they are studying the market around the homes that they're looking for. So if you're in the price range of what that buyer's looking for, you ask them. They know about all the homes that are available. They know whether or not they sold fast. They know whether or not they're priced right, and they know the size of the home and the amenities that are available. So when you do decide to put your house on the market, you want to make sure you hire somebody that knows how to position the home to get you the best offer at the best price in your time frame. And you want to hire an agent that can guarantee your price. We do that. You want to also hire an agent that can offer guarantees. Like if somebody comes to us and they have a house to sell, we can provide our cash offers to their buyer so that they could sell their home and buy your home without a sale contingency. So all you have to do is call us if you are thinking of making a move at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, you and your team are the only company I would recommend to people out there who are thinking of selling their homes and downsizing to a smaller home. All I do is call 719-301-3900. You're listening to your real estate voice. That voice is Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, make that call 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing how to make your Colorado house sell faster. Plus, Barb's hot new listings. You don't want to miss them.